No, I have definitely muted you this time. I hate it. Professionals watching. Yeah, definitely. I'm not muted. Oh my god. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream. We're live, and you're all here, and Restream is going crazy. So I'm going to try and keep track on everywhere else. Wonderful, welcome to my wonderful, wonderful players. Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Ready to go and save some person who is screaming apparently, because that's I think the last thing I remember.
That is the
Flash.
last thing.
Flash, yeah.
Flash.
Saving that one. That
Yeah.
sounds
Absolutely.
They're hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really in need of a snack.
Mitch and Kai, how you guys doing?
I'm good.
Good. Stream is reminding me to make sure nothing is muted except for the things that need to be muted. So yes, you know me too well. Thank you for that. And then finally, Till from Vienna. How you doing, Till?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Hi guys. I'm looking forward to this session today.
There we go. Who wants to do a brief recap of what happened yesterday? And by brief, I mean very brief.
I can do a brief recap.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. A group of 4 very, very unlikely otters have arrived in what's the kingdom's name again? Where we're at?
You're in the Haspian Kingdom.
The Haspian Kingdom as exchange students for the very illustrious wizarding school, and have been asked by the headmaster to go into the farmlands in order to try and deal with a problem that is there. Upon arrival, we found a mayor who told us that a woodcutter had returned from his woodcutting with some sort of barbarian zombie-ishness, and they then chopped him up to little pieces. Upon investigating the place where he was, while riding dragons very poorly, we found the presence of several large bat-like creatures that were very promptly slain thanks to the efforts of our entourage. And now we have heard something screaming out for flesh, which we believe is probably someone in some need of refreshments, food supply, and thankfully we have 4 very tasty halibut that they might be able to enjoy. I'm very hopeful on that. Yes, they're just hungry. They just want halibut. They don't want us.
You go first, Broga. Yes, you go first.
Yes.
Lovely. Okay, so we need to check, are our scribes in chat today? Do we have Druzy, Merc the Cobbler, Conifer, and Ichthy?
Captain Priceless is here, I know.
Okay, Captain Priceless is there. That's right. Captain Priceless was playing the role of Merc the Cobbler, keeping track of things. Anybody else in chat? Yes, Icecap is here. Icecap. Who's Icecap?
Druzy Icecap was
Druzy Icecap. There we go. Yes, so we've got our Twitch covered. Do we have... Yes, I'm here, says Nicholas.
Here?
That's fantastic. And that's Conifer. Do we have Herod? Is he here?
Ichthy, I don't know. I think...
Ichthy,
are you there?
Going once.
I'm missing my peasant.
Going twice.
Ichthy,
No, Ichthy, maybe he's late for the stream. Not sure. So we are looking for a... Right here. I'm here. Wait, right here?
No, that was Nicholas.
Yeah, that's Nicholas, and then I see Rainman 1308 right here. Are you the same person, or is this a cunning ploy to take the title of scribe from Gerard? Are you Gerard? Let's find out. So the role of scribe...
I like your moxie, kid.
The role of scribe is one of intense duty and dedication, and we really appreciate the scribes. And I will be asking for suggestions and ideas and number rolling and all sorts of things from you guys, the audience, during the stream. The scribes will gather that response and then hopefully in chat write answer or name or whatever, big caps, so that I can see it straight away and then employ it. So there we go. That's their primary function, and then we're going to meet them when we get back to the conclave, if they do get there. Now I see Herod hasn't responded yet. Raymond 1308 says it is a cunning ploy. So we need a volunteer from YouTube to be a scribe, please, to the princess, nonetheless. We need a scribe for the princess, someone who's willing to collate answers and present them. So Raymond 1308, if you're up to it. Me, says Edward Horseman. There we go. You jumped straight in there. Edward is the new scribe.
What's my new scribe's name?
Edward Horseman, what is... You can't volunteer, did Aussie Gamer. Edward, what is the name of the scribe? Edward, what is the name of the scribe? What is the name of the scribe? You give us the name as quick as you can, and then that shall be the name of the scribe moving forward. Again, you don't have to remain a scribe if you don't want to. You can drop out at any time. There's some nice requests coming in from Jatham the Red, but Edward just did get his hand up first, legally. Anyway, let us descend. Polgar. Polgar is the name of the princess's new scribe. Polgar has replaced Ichther, who has come down with a bad case of literature and has to go and read something tonight because they're not with us. Let's move forward. We sink back into the pine forest where the scent of fresh sap gently oozing out of the tree's wounds inflicted upon it savagely by giant insects. And our four intrepid heroes find themselves staring at the remains of a campfire, the corpses of some dead bats, and the sound of that chilling voice asking for flesh. We have a new combat tracker over here, which I'm very excited about. So once we determine combat, I'll move you backwards and forwards once you've acted. We are not in combat at this particular moment in time, so I will throw it out and just work my way around. Brogar, what are you doing? This call came from the north, the dark area.
Okay. I'm going to... Oh, sorry. My north or north of Mouse?
North of Mouse.
I'm going to move to the north of Mouse with my shield at the ready and my axe in hand. I will yell out to the darkness. If it is flesh you're wanting, you are going to have to come here, and I will shave plenty of it off your skinny bones.
How far north are you going?
I'll go about maybe 10 foot in front of where Mouse is.
So up to there?
Yeah.
Okie dokes. That's what you're doing. Daisy, what are you doing?
As I see Brogar go by, I just kind of wipe my nose, and there's like a little bit of phlegm that comes with that, and I wipe it on his back, and I cast Plague God's Blessing to try to like give him an enhancement of +1 to his bladed weapons. It's a 6 to
Shouldn't
cast.
you put that on my weapon then?
Are you aware that
Yeah.
I'm aware that you have walked up to me and covered me in phlegm.
Okay. Then
Here, I have also got blessing. I have blessing from Pain God.
Well,
me
I'm
in
a little
mucus.
different, you see. Pain God is really just about you hitting things, but I'm more about protecting you from being hit yourself by inflicting more pain. This makes sense to me. I'm going to touch your weapon now. And I try to wipe my finger, if he'll allow it, on his blade.
Is there any mucus on it?
Yep.
Fine.
Okay. I got a 10.
Lovely. The spell is cast. How long is it going to last for?
3 rounds.
3 rounds, and that gives Brogar a what bonus?
+1 to bladed
Plus
weapons.
1. There you go. Make a note of that, Brogar. For the next 3 rounds, you have +1. Princess Aona.
I don't like being so far back, so I'm going to run behind Daisy and Mouse, like in that little corner, like where
There?
they're both coloring. Yeah, and I'm gonna start pulling some leaves off the branches because if I remember, I blew up a tree by following magic current. So if it's coming from that direction, I'm gonna send a few that way.
Okie dokes. I'm going to assign you this leaf here. You can hold on to that one for you for now.
It's my leaf.
Mouse.
I jealously watch as my god master blesses someone else, and then I will put down my giant crossbow and will start pulling it, loading it, and just ready a shot if something comes into my sight.
There you go. You ready a shot if something comes into your sight. As a matter of fact, charging, leaping, and bounding towards you, Brolgar, and he covers the distance in one movement, is this incredibly naked man. Must have been a lumberjack because he's got a giant beard and he's got suspenders, or where suspenders would have been, except he's got the suntan. And he comes rushing forward, completely out of his mind. You can see frothing at the mouth. He's got cuts all over him. Just looks completely berserk. Now, the spellcasters amongst you will recognize that this is a voider, someone who tried to use magic and failed miserably, and so as a result, their mental faculties have been reduced to that of a savage animal. There is no reasoning with these beasts. They are quite literally incapable of comprehension. They will just rip and render everything they can. They're in a violent frenzy. So that's what comes charging forwards towards you. Can I have an awareness check from everybody, please? You all get +2 because you were prepared for this.
I got a 15.
15. Anyone beat a 15?
Yes. That is a 16.
16.
Wow.
Brolga goes first, then Daisy. Mouse, what did you get?
I rolled a 7. Did you say I got +2 because I was prepped? So
Yep.
I would have a +4 in that case.
All
would
right.
be 11.
11, Iona.
6.
6, and I got a 6 as well. So you have advantage here. Brolga, what are you doing? This thing is just charging at you.
Broga will say something in Ottawan, something akin to "for the crown" or "for the princess," or for the monarchy. And I will swing with my hand axe, with the +1 bonus from the mucus
Yes.
on my axe. That puts me at a 14.
14. That's 2 over what he rolled. So you deal that plus what's your regular damage?
My regular is 3. Do I get a +1 to this as well?
No, it's just to your skill.
No, just the attack. Yep.
Yeah, which effectively is 2
okay.
damage.
Yeah, so 3 points of damage as I upwardly slash and try to clip the chin of this lumberjack.
All right, you hack into it. You notice as you hit his flesh, it's almost like it's dead already, but it's still red and pink, but it's really tough. Really tough.
It's like jumping into pudding.
There we go. Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, Daisy.
Unless I can.
No, just wondering if you had something else you wanted to do.
Daisy's going to do as he's fighting, like as you do that swing, Daisy goes, "Watch out, avoider!" As if you're not aware that you're in danger. And then he also says very loudly as he steps forward, "Don't worry, Brolga, I'll protect the princess." And he goes into his bag and he pulls out a little leaf and like this musty, dirty, oil-covered, looks like it hasn't eaten in 3 days raccoon, comes out and starts charging at the voider. This is going to be quite hard for me to cast. But I managed to get it off with exactly what I needed, a 9.
Okay, so the raccoon charges forward. It's doing what to the voider?
It jumps onto it and starts to bite into its chest and starts to try to rip out all the distracting it as best it can. And Daisy is almost like a prize fighter in the back going, "Yeah, get him! Yeah, give him the right! Give him the right!" As he's standing back there. It has +1 damage, so I assume it only does 1 damage.
It does 1 damage. There we go. This poor voider being attacked by this horrific raccoon attack. Are you done, Daisy?
I am completed.
All right. The raccoon is gnawing into him. That leaves Mouse. You're prepared.
Yeah, I've already prepped my
Yes.
I've prepped my crossbow, so I'm going to fire.
Absolutely. Make your attack.
Oh no, that was a 2 rolled.
Right. It's not actively dodging you because it's engaged in combat with Brolga. You didn't roll a 1, so that's fine. So you do you have archery? Yeah, well,
Yeah, I have
range
well,
weapon?
I have range weapon +1, so it's a 3.
It's a 3. There is that almighty satisfying clunk as your crossbow fires. The bolt, however, sails wide, even though you were aiming pretty much in the direction of the enemy. It does not hit him, sadly.
Okay, can I still move?
You can?
I will slowly go back into the bushes and will try to get backward to the lower end of the tent.
Oh, to the lower, so down this way?
Yep.
Okay, absolutely fine. You're busy rustling through the bushes. Are you reloading your crossbow whilst moving?
Yes.
Okay, because you didn't move very fast, so I think that's absolutely fine. Princess Aona.
Yes, I like to step forward one and then over to the brown tree stumps, so I won't hit anybody.
Sure. Oh, more over this way?
Yes, move over to the right, and then I'm going to enchant that leaf and let it go and see if it actually follows the high-powered magic current that way.
Are you aiming at the creature?
Yeah.
All right. Well, make your spell check, if you please. The range is 15 feet there.
7 plus 8.
Let me
That'll do.
orientate this.
So okay, hang on. I did it for 10 feet. It's 15.
It's 15 feet, yeah.
Yeah, that'll work. So I'm at 8, and it was supposed to be past a 7.
There you go. It
was plus 2 to damage.
shoots forward with velocity straight through this poor creature. What your total was supposed to be 8, you got 7, or 7 and you got 8, so it's 1 damage.
Yeah, and I was doing a plus 2 damage on it.
3 in total. Perfect. Okay, well, it punctures through the side of this thing and just rips out a whole section of rib and lung. And you can actually see this thing. It disappears off into the darkness. And there's a tree that snaps somewhere. And this beast is now heavily wounded. There's this strange black ooze at the very center of it, which is starting to... It almost looks like liver as it's quivering as the beast is still moving around. Definitely avoid her if there was ever any doubt whatsoever. It's definitely very heavily injured. Are you doing anything else? Oh, well, you moved and you did your spell, so that's that. Its turn. It will attack you, my lord Brolga. Will you be defending, dodging, or doing what exactly?
I will be using my skill with my bladed weapon to try and fend off the attack.
Make your roll.
Ooh, not stellar. That's an 8.
Okay, it rolled a 14, so you are taking 6 physical damage as its claws rip into you.
Because I've got my heavy shield and my scale mail.
Yes.
Can I distribute the damage between the two?
No, sadly, it's hitting one or the other.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to take it from my scale mail and take 6 damage.
It wrenches into your scale mail. You can feel the scales just ripping off as its claws kind of make its way through big jagged pieces, because scale mail doesn't have a huge amount of hit points. Am I right? It's got 7, I think.
It's got 7 hit points.
Yeah, so it's ripped, it's shredded, it's not looking good at all, but you do have the heroic off the shoulder Kirk tear, which will make everybody exceptionally happy. Stumbling out of the darkness, however, are these cadaverous-looking corpses.
Uh-oh.
They are just moving into range. Well, they're where they are. They're sort of shambling forward, and they're missing body parts. Or actually, any one of you can give me a medicine check. Any one of you can give me a medicine check.
Solid 1.
I have Medica.
Yeah, you're not focused on them. You're focused on your insane raccoon.
10?
From where you're standing, Princess Aona, it looks as if the arm isn't missing. The corpse has had a rather neat incision made into the arm, and the bone has been removed. So a lot of it's obviously moving under magic. This is definitely moving under magic, but they really look like their bones have been removed. Very
So
unusual.
like a squid?
Kinda, yeah. Kinda like a squid, yes. Nonetheless, that's what they're doing, and that brings us to the top of the round. Back to you, Brolga.
How injured does the? I mean, it's a corpse. How injured does the one in front of me look?
There's that large black liver that's wobbling about in the giant hole that Princess Aona blasted into it. You reckon a good solid hit to that midriff would cut it in half?
Okay, I'm gonna try something.
That's the whole point. What are you doing?
Yeah, given the name of the game is the try game.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if I were to use magic per se, can I dip into my physical for magic?
Yeah, absolutely. If you make it a physical incantation, you rage like a raging person, you make it a physical expression rather than a mental one, for example. You're still using magicka as your skill, but you're just using physical points to cast the spell.
Okay, so what I would like to try, fingers crossed,
Yes.
is I would like to try and do basically, instead of slashing at this creature, I would like to sort of slash at the ground and create a sort of like a shower of dirt and rock and debris outwards in a 20-foot cone in front of me.
Okay.
In hopes of dealing well, let's just keep it like to
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah,
This
so-
is quite a complicated spell that you're creating here. But yes,
it
keep
is-
going.
it is.
It
Now,
is. It is. How much damage
do I need
do you want to do?
Already with a 20-foot cube
yeah,
or
you're sitting on
area,
plus
it's
10 at the
in our
moment.
+7.
Yeah.
Plus 10 from the thing. I think just a 1 point of damage.
All right.
to
Your
all
difficulty
all these things.
is 11.
Okay, I would like to burn. Can I burn from multiple things, or if I use 2 from the other ones?
Determine your primary, and then your secondary is at double the cost.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna burn 6 from physical. I'm gonna burn 4, which will give me a 2 from mental,
So you're on 8.
and the same thing from spiritual. So
Okay,
that's
so
10.
you're on 10. So you need to roll a 1. What did we say?
Yep.
Did we say 11?
11. It was
11.
Okay.
Yeah. So I need to roll a 1 to do
A
1 damage to these
20-foot
guys.
square is going to hit this creature and one of the skeletons at the back. Well, the
I only see
squid. Squid.
I only see 2 skeletons.
Yes.
So if I do a 20, so it won't hit the other one if I do it in a cone. Okay.
Well, it's an area of 20 feet, so you're casting it from point blank, so it's 5, 10, 15, 20. So it's a nice, neat square. Actually, you know what? No, 5, 10, 15, 20. You can't. No, it would only be the one skeleton and the creature in front of you.
Okay. If I position myself behind him, would that make a difference? If I then centered it on myself?
If you tried to move around, yes, absolutely. You could do that.
All right. Okay, I will do that, and then I'll sort of slam into the ground.
Okay.
Yep.
Cast your spell.
All right. Let's see if I can
Roll
get a
a
1. Here we go. That is a 12.
Well, there we go.
Ooh.
So Brolga sort of takes his hand axe into the air and will basically just slam it down onto the ground in his spot to sort of churn like a wave of earth in 20 foot around him.
Okay. This ripple effect slams out. This creature is instantly destroyed in the blast. the squidlings get hit by your magical confluence, they're still standing, but it looks as if the skin in the front has been put through a sort of a masher. It's just this hanging bits of dead flesh. They're still shambling forward, but they really just look like animated bags of meat now. Whatever original corpses these were, they are long since gone.
Very well.
This wave of energy
Brolga
washes
sort of
out.
turns. So Brolga with sort of blood pouring down his eyes. You can see he's got the varicose veins sort of popping off to his side as he's now gone into his Ottawin berserker rage.
You did a lot of damage. You took a lot of damage. So there we go. The skeleton's not looking good. Daisy, your raccoon is your raccoon was right there.
Yeah. Well, it's gone now.
It's gone.
Oh yeah. Whoops.
That's fine.
That's our next adventure.
Yeah, next adventure. So after seeing this conflux of magical energy,
Yes,
he's kind of wiping his eyes as all this dust has got into it. As he stumbles forward, he's like, "Broga, I'll help you!" And he reaches into his belt. And he pulls out a little vase, and he starts to shake it, and you hear zzz on the inside, and he whips. So he's gonna walk up right next to Broga to start, if he can.
Yeah.
Right behind Broga, I should say.
Gotcha.
He's not that brave. And then he's gonna throw this jar of wasps it has a 10-foot radius, so right smack dab in between the two skeletons or squidlings standing next to each other. This is gonna be tough to cast, so I'm gonna put 5 of my spiritual into this.
Very good.
And plus 6. So 7 plus 6, so 13.
Nice. And your DC?
And the DC. Just pulling it up now. DC was 9.
All right, lovely. And you got 13, so that's 6 points of damage. This one explodes. The one that had been eviscerated by Brolga. This one staggers forward. What is the effect of this buzzing?
So as the vase hits, suddenly these giant mutated wasps just swarm around and start eating and chewing and stinging. And again, Daisy's Broga, do you see? I am helping. Yes, Broga, kill them. I'm useful. He feels his self-confidence, even though he knows he's a god, has been almost wavered. He's looking at Broga a little differently than he did before after seeing that giant conflux of magic.
There are, yes, mouse from the bushes.
For a moment, I'm feeling absolutely flabbergasted by the power that my master has unleashed, and Brolga. So I'm looking at my crossbow, and I'm like, okay. And I'm going to aim at the right one, the one that is in the bushes there.
Yes, this one over here. Yeah.
And I'm going to shoot at that one. Just regular.
There you go. Make your attack. It's completely unaware of you. It rolled a natural 1. It's more worried about the bees.
I have a 12.
12 is a direct hit, and that's 6 over what you needed.
Nice.
Do you add damage because of your bow?
Yeah, +2.
Oh, +2. Lovely. So 8 damage to this poor skeleton. 8, and that this shambling thing. Bees are all over it, and then your arrow just punches straight through that black core, and there's this sort of schlop as out of all of the holes, this black goo just flops down onto the floor, quivering and definitely dead.
For the master, for Skandagard!
Princess Aona?
Good lord. All right, so I'm going to step forward to the left 3 and then diagonal forward and to the left So that way I'm in front of the tent.
Oh, in front of the tent. Somewhere
Yes.
there?
Yeah.
More? Yeah.
And then I'm going to maybe can I move one more so I'm close to Daisy? So I'm in 10
Yep.
feet.
You can?
And then I'm going to do my little ice spear again and fling it at that thing.
Make your attack.
That works. It's a 10 plus 1 for Magicka. So yes. So that's a +2 to damage too.
There we go. It didn't. It just, your ice bolt slams into it, shoots out the back of it, and that black jelly again just completely. Well, it freezes solid, lands on the ground, and then melts into this black bile. You are all now aware that there's a strange bluish greenish fungus all over the grass just at the tip of your vision to the north of you. That's what the three of you are seeing. We're out of combat. The forest is relatively quiet for now.
The first thing I want to do is collect a sample of the black core, whatever I can get in a little vial I have. I'm going to also recall the bees back into their jar.
The bees dutifully all buzz back in, sort of, and immediately start cleaning themselves as bees do. You're going to go over to where the corpse was and start trying to collect up this black sludge.
Oh, before I do that, I'm sorry. I almost forgot something extremely sincere. I have to say a prayer for the fallen raccoon. And I say, in the widower's name, I will bring you back into the bacterium of life. And I touch it and it just disintegrates into the ground.
You touch bits of it because it was blasted in all different directions. But yes, you touch.
The biggest bit that I can find.
If someone would have been watching me as you're doing that, I was just praying a little bit as well.
There we go.
Brolga will take a moment as well and give a Viking salute to the fallen raccoon.
There we
Is
go.
there a water raccoon of 2018?
No.
We all sit little candles and flowers. Does anyone else remember that?
No.
Just
Little
any
Viking,
cat, they'll
little
remember
Viking
it.
funeral.
Oh,
There was a raccoon that died on the streets of Toronto, and the animal control didn't get around to it, so people started leaving cards and candles and flowers around this raccoon
Well,
for an entire day.
that-
On the
I
streets
did
of
hear
Toronto.
about that.
may happen here. So Daisy, you head off to go and try and do this autopsy on the zombie
I
corpse.
like it.
That's given to us from chat. It's insane. Mouse, what are you doing?
Yeah, I would like to, because I remember that there was a corpse lying
Yes.
next to the tent.
Yes.
So I would like to go over to that corpse and start
Absolutely.
investigating.
Okay, lovely. Give me a search check, if you please.
Oh, nice one. That is an 11 rolled. And do I add something?
Your
Do I add?
search skill, if you have
Oh,
anything in
I do
search-
have a search skill. No, I don't.
No?
No.
Okay.
No, it's
It
straight
doesn't
11.
matter. I'll come back to you as to what you find. You realize that this individual was definitely not a woodcutter at all. He definitely was not a lumberjack. The corpse did not belong to a lumberjack. Brolga, what are you doing whilst Mouse is searching and so is Daisy?
Brolga's gonna go over to the stump and have a bit of a sit down. He has his I'm too old for this shit, kind of moment where he's just like, I
You sit
am
down.
getting too old for young man work.
You sit on the stump, Princess Iona.
I'm going to go to the bush to the left of me, take a stick, and then go up to where the bluegrass is and touch it and see if it spreads up the stick so I can drop the stick, or if nothing happens. I want to know if we walk on this, if it'll try to infect us.
Okay, so that's what you're going to do. You're going to step over to that area. As you get towards that area, you realize that there is an old crypt door that has been carved into the side of this black cliff face, this structure here on the left-hand side of the map. And there's an old statue as well that indicates the edge of obviously some kind of crypt or tomb of some kind. Perhaps it's the cemetery that they were mentioning. But there are these tendrils of this strange plant growing out towards you. As you are walking close, I need you to please give me a mental resistance check.
I rolled a 10.
A 10.
Yes.
You feel weak almost. I think
Like
you
it's
feel
draining
weak.
my sphere?
Like it's like the whole area is just so empty and depressing and just empty. That's the only way I can describe it.
Like a void.
Yeah, like a void perhaps.
All right. I'll back up.
Daisy, you are investigating this black sludgy stuff. It looks as if it's starting to dissolve into the ground, as if the magic that is holding it together is dissipating.
Is it possible then for me to? I can imagine that Daisy has some sort of vial of some sort that can contain magic within it, given to him by the college, and he wants just to scoop it as fast as he can and cork it, if that's possible.
Absolutely. I need you to give me a reflex check, though, as you get close to this black ooze.
Okay. Yeah. I'm really good at this. I don't know if you know. Yeah, really good.
Best skill ever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. 2.
Oh, let's see what happens. Oh, 12. So, yeah, as you scooping up this black stuff, you're not convinced, but there's no other way to explain it. You cork it and you realize that some of the black stuff seems to have got onto the underside of your hand, but you are convinced you didn't touch it as you were scooping up this black stuff.
I'm going to lick it. He would do that, like literally. Yeah.
You lick it. Okay. You lick it.
Farewell.
You lick it. Oh, wow. There we go. You lick it and you hear a phrase in your head. There's a voice all of a sudden. I will come back to you as to what that voice is saying shortly. Mouse, the corpse, looks like someone who has spent their entire life in business. There's actually a large gold ring on a fairly pudgy finger that the bats didn't manage to get to. And there's bits of clothing that have been shredded, very, very fine quality clothing as well. And from what you can gather, this person had stopped here, obviously to make use of the lumberjacks' camp, and had become overcome by the bats. There is a scrap of paper which has got strange dead ink scribbled all over it. But it doesn't mean anything to you, of course, because you can't read.
Nope, I can't. So I will rather publicly, I will turn over the corpse and I will start to ruffle through the bags and the clothing, and I will also pick up the note. While I'm doing that, I would like to do a sleight of hand check and take that ring and put it in my tummy fur, somewhere where I can hide it.
Sleight of navel.
Yeah.
Sleight of navel. You don't have to make that check because you're on the other side of a tent from everybody else. So aside from a few curious squirrels and birds, you're okay. As you're putting that ring into furry places, you can make a note that ring you think is worth probably in the region of about 2,500 to 3,000 silver pieces. It's a very expensive ring.
Yes, that is. I found nothing important. Oh, here's a sheet of paper. Daisy, Master, good Lord, I have found something for you.
I smell walnuts and burnt toast.
Yeah, yes, sir. Understood, I think. Here you go.
All right,
And I
so
will, I will carry that over.
sort of
Is there
rushing
anything
over.
else? Anything else? Nothing.
Nothing else of particular
perfect.
value. So let me go to Aona. That emptiness. The doors to this crypt are open slightly.
All right. Is there a way to almost like mage hand close the door? Like, how heavy do those doors look?
They
Like
look
stone
very stone doors, very heavy. It's been pushed open by this blue-green fungus-like stuff. It's grown out of it, pushing it open. Quite.
Can I try to burn it? See if it burns.
Yes, absolutely. How are you going to try and burn it?
I have a flint and tinder. I'm just gonna light the end of my stick on fire so I don't have to touch it, and stick the stick on the
All right.
grass.
Okay. You try and burn this fungal stuff. It seems to smolder ever so briefly, but you would need far more than just a little flame on the edge of a stick to get this stuff going. You suspect it's very good at not burning. Like most fungus, it's slightly damp.
Oh, so then could I then try to freeze it so it will shatter?
How are you going to do that?
I'm going to take the end of my stick, stick it in, and channel the ice down through the stick into the thing.
All right, you work that out in terms of what you're trying to do. I know you're not trying to do any damage.
I just try to freeze it.
Yep, absolutely.
Is that considered touch since I'm touching the stick?
Yes, it is touch. Yeah,
okay.
Touch. Yeah. You hear a phrase in your head, Daisy, and the phrase is just a single word repeated over and over and over again. City, city, city. You may make an occult knowledge check.
Is that occult or obscure lore?
Obscure lore. Sorry, obscure lore.
Oh, I can actually do that. 6.
You don't know. It's Sid he. It doesn't mean anything to you. It might mean something to someone. Obviously, this sludge definitely means something to someone. But
City was
Sid he.
I mentally project myself into this kind of whatever conversation we're having here, and I say, I have triumphed over many other gods, giving them the coughs and the sniffles. You are nothing to me.
Oh boy, give me a mental resistance check.
You are nothing. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sorry,
nothing.
sir.
Absolutely.
You are nothing. No, you're something.
Oh well, you know. Well, no, it's 7. Sorry, plus 1, so it's 8.
8. Okay. You get this vision. It's the only way to describe it, as if there is something standing in front of you, but for a moment it looks like a skull with a human skull. No, not human. Elvish. No, maybe it's human. No, it's something else. It's a flesh-covered skull with a tremendous brain case behind it. And as it looks at you, it does not have eye sockets. No, it has eye sockets. It doesn't have eyes. Just these black sockets. And it looks at you, and instantaneously it transforms into this very handsome elf. And his eyes, these piercing blue eyes, look directly at you, and then the connection's lost.
Mouse, write this down. Don't eat fruit or black slime anymore. Both of those. Neither. Don't eat them again.
Okay. Drawing a fruit and
Is
stretching
anyone
it
aware
out.
of Sidhi?
We've been in a city.
I think it's a name. Princess?
Yes.
Your studies? Anything?
So I could do a history, right?
Obscure lore.
Obscure lore.
Yeah. What is Brolga doing whilst all this is
That's
going
a
on?
3.
Being old, guy. Being old. That is what Broker's doing. He's sitting there with he pulls out some Vicks and starts rubbing his chest. No, I don't know. He's probably actually, you know what? To be fair, Broger is quite. He did expend quite a bit to do his rather impressive axe attack.
Yes.
And his armor is quite damaged.
Yes.
I think he would, for the most part, try at this stage to
Yes.
sort of dismount some of his armor and try and repair some of it.
Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. You can give me a repair check.
Oh, that's not bad. That is an 11.
Do you have any coin upon your person? Do you have anything left from that spend? I think you did.
I didn't spend anything. I've still got the whole 3,000.
Got the whole 3,000. All right. It's going to take you about 10 minutes to do that repair. Are you prepared to spend that time doing that?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
All right. So you're gonna spend some time doing that. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. You're starting to prepare. Iona, you're casting your spell.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a roll, if you please.
All right.
Your magic roll. What is your magic roll?
It'll be an 8. I'm assuming it was one target with 1 foot touch range and a 15 square foot, which would make it I have to beat 7, correct?
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay, so I have an 8.
You release this magic, and it freezes this fungus, and for a moment it threatens to freeze a lot of a bigger area. But as you're watching it, the magic seems to swell and then almost as quickly dissolve, and then nothing remains of your ice whatsoever.
Oh, so this thing's literally absorbing magicka.
It's what it looks like.
I'm going to shut up. Broga, can I borrow you?
Of course, princess. Just maybe 10 minutes. I am in the middle of something. Is something? Are you in danger?
No, but I'm going to draw with my stick a line so I can see how fast this thing is spreading, if it's spreading at an exponential rate, or if it's moving very slowly out.
All right.
So I'm just going to put a border around it, and I'm going to back up.
Mouse, what are you doing?
I'm still in the process of bringing that piece of paper to my godmaster.
Yes. Oh, you get to him.
Okay, so in that case, I would say, look what I found. I think you can read this.
Of course. Is it in some sort of ancient script? Because that would be the only thing that I read it. Still kind of perplexed. You see my eyes are kind of not focused on what's around me.
It's a list. 6 boxes of manure, 3 boxes of bones, 1 pulley and tackle, 8 barrels of dried ground fish, 12 bottles of root beer.
Is there a signature or anything
At
like
the
that?
bottom, at the top, it says Robesbin Suppliers of Elite Merchandise. And the address is Winterhome, the capital of the Haspian Kingdom. And at the bottom, it says delivered and paid in a slightly more scattered handwriting than the original handwriting of the list.
Have I done good, master? Have I brought you a powerful spell?
You have brought me something more powerful than spells. An idea. And I go waddle over to Brolga.
Who's busy fixing his armor frantically.
Yes.
I swear, if you put phlegm on my armor, I will hit you with the axe.
No. Not right now. Later, maybe when you're sleeping. But right now, I'm trying to help you. And I pull out some leaves, and I kind of swirl them together into an interesting, very intricate pattern. And I hand it to you. It's a herb lore thing that my Otterwin can do. Eat this. Will heal your wounds. Magic like that will take a lot out of you. Have you always been the princess's bodyguard? You're just like, Sorry.
It's a bit chewy. I have been princess's bodyguard for some time, but was not always Vadia. I used to be a soldier in the military. But as all things, bones and flesh, it wears down over time. Thus, I am now pleasured to be serving the princess.
Speaking of the princess, the fungus has overgrown your line and is threatening to overgrow you.
Yeah, I'm backing up. I'm not gonna let it touch me. I'm gonna run back to Brolga
Right.
and the others and be like, all right, that fungus is coming out, seems to be absorbing all the magic in the area, including I felt it try to pull at me as well. It's probably feeding on it, and if we're in this high-powered currents, it's probably getting more and more powerful, especially with this magic current that's currently coming through everything.
Show me. Point it.
So I'll come over to the thing. I'm like, it absorbs all magic. It absorbed fire,
Master,
ice.
I think you should just turn around. Look, it's coming.
It is growing towards you guys at a rate of about 5 foot every 6 or 7 seconds.
So my question is this causing the magic current? Like everything in the area's magic is being pulled to this place, or is it growing because of the magic?
Give me a magic check.
7.
The winds of magic that flow around the planet are caused by there being areas where there's little magic, sucking areas with lots of magic into those areas. And that causes other areas to have little magic, and so then it sort of flows and swirls around. If this thing is absorbing magic, it would be creating a very strong pull on all the magic in the nearby areas, which may account for why there's this increase in magic. Away from it, but close to it, of course, the magic will be absorbed.
So how do we nullify this pull, like to starve it out?
I'm thinking it from a we should look at it. I look at it as a plant. Is there, and I know a lot about, as Daisy, know a lot about like alchemy and like bacterium. Is there a way I can short circuit this plant?
So just because I picture Daisy being completely obsessed and thinking about this, not moving at all. So I will just gently tuck him and pull him back while he's still trying to figure out what is happening
and
there.
He's speaking the entire time as if nothing's happening. What if we just put it in here? Maybe I put some acid on there. Wait, just move me a little closer, Mouse. I just want to touch it. Maybe eat it.
No, I don't think you should do that, Master.
If you can find the source, you might be able to cut the source out, and that may stop it. It's unless it's digging into the ground underneath itself, that would be where it's getting its nutrients from. If that's the sort of nutrients that it eats, you're not sure.
Okay.
Apart from you described an entry back there, like the crypt was open. Was it growing out of the crypt or besides?
Yes.
It was coming out of the crypt. Okay.
Is there any way to enter the crypt without walking into or on this thing?
You would have to, well, you're going to have to walk forward to sort of see where the crypt door is. I'm assuming you don't want to touch this stuff.
No.
No. I'll try and sort of move north and around. Also, before I forget to say so, I've put my armor back on.
Oh, you regained 4 hit points from the herb lore thing.
There you go.
Huzzah!
It's actually almost impossible for you to see the cave entrance because there's so much of this stuff growing out of it. But you sort of climb onto the edge of the statue and move around, not touching it. You do see the entrance, and it is still, there's probably a 4-foot clearance between the fungus. It doesn't grow very high. It just spreads out like a great big carpet in all directions. Principally, though, flowing down towards Daisy and Iona.
can I take the tent, the sheet off the tent, and see if
Sure.
I can put it on top of this? Does it absorb it, or does it just shift along with it?
Just
'Cause we could
shifts
probably...
along with it.
All right, so we could probably walk on this.
No. I have a plan. I take my skunk, who is... Oh, no, not the skunk. No, I'm not going to sacrifice the skunk. I'm going to take the wasps that are like... And I want to infuse... I don't want to, like, put it in a spell, per se, but I want to infuse the wasps with magic.
Okay.
As much as I can.
Sure.
And I want to basically, like, lure the fungus towards the magic and away from us, if we can.
So you're infusing the wasps with magic, and you're going to just send the wasps in which direction?
So, like, we're going to go... I'm assuming we're going to go try to infiltrate this cave. So I'm going to, like, roll... Like, I'm going to basically send the wasps down and basically instruct them to lead this fungi away from us as we're going to wrap around and go in.
All right. Your DC is 6.
Okay. I'm going to drop some sphere points. This is getting real dicey for me, actually. I probably should be really careful. But here we go. I'm going to drop 2.
All right.
+1. I got a 7.
There you go.
4 on the die.
As the wasps head in a northeasterly direction, there is... It doesn't look like the fungus is doing anything to begin with. But then, ever so slowly, it starts to change direction towards the wasps. But as you're watching those wasps sail away from you, they seem to be flaring a little bit as the magic is literally just draining away from them and slowly drifting towards the fungus.
Hurry. We don't have much time. Hurry, into the place.
And we'll be back next week as they enter into the cave because we're out of time.
Yay!
So there we go. Scribes, you didn't have anything to do today. Although I do note that there was a note that was made. Druzy made some notes that Daisy was throwing at poor old Mouse to make note of.
Druzy, you are a perfect scribe. Perfect.
Oh dear, I think, well, I don't know, to be happy or sad, Druzy. So there you are. Druzy responds, yes, my lord, from somewhere out there. Druzy's actually in the conclave, probably enjoying life. So there we are. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to my wonderful players for playing. This hour always just seems to zip by so quickly. I really do. It's crazy. It really is crazy. And welcome to the World Anvilites who joined us. Thank you for joining us. But yes, we're now out. So we will be back tomorrow as the adventures continue with more craziness, entering into this strange tomb to find the source of this bizarre fungus. What's up with that? Anyway, from all of us, let me go back here so you can see all of them. I wish to say thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.